My favorite revelation from this week, I talked about it on Tukey Soup this morning. John admitted the iPad mini that he got for the beloved Chatter's loved one.
Yeah.
Turned out to be Nikki B's husband going through chemo. He was able to get that iPad from another guy at the bar.
From pints.
For 4 pints. And it wasn't this other guy's iPad. It was his daughter's. So his loser buddy at this bar who could
alcoholic, allegedly.
Another day drinker who's going, yeah, I could probably scrounge up an iPad. Let me just, yoink, here you go. Poor daughter. And so it turns out John, who's been taking credit for this forever, got her this iPad, so amazing of him. And, talks about his mom giving $100. Guy's going through chemo, but okay. This iPad, so important that he did that and he brags about it. It's so old, they couldn't even update the operating system and use it. It was unusable.
So he did the daughter a favor, but without knowing it.
It sounds like John's out 4 pints.
Plus time and postage.
Yeah.
But also, he was collecting money for this, right?
Right. So
what
he was
happened to the
collecting money all along.
If you just got it for a couple of rounds at the pub.
Well, he claims that he also donated money, and I believe he did. I believe it was a very minimal amount of money. He was begging for super chats for a month or so.
The
iPad mini was in addition to the funds.
Yes. He brags about all the things he did.
Well, to him, maybe it was a lot of money.
To him, it is.
To him and super chats that he was getting at that time. Yeah, I suppose that's probably true.
I'd like to send your husband some pints if I could.
All right. I want to play my my band practice was canceled last night, so I got to sit at home and check out what John was up to. But before we get into that, I just want to play. This is a video that Joe Namath NYJ put it up on the subreddit here. And I find this hilarious. It just goes to show how slow John is, how long it takes him to think before he can react to something.
Penis Wrinkle, thanks for the $5. Go back and watch your first appearances when you got back. Anybody call school and play if they had a child in your class. You got yourself fired. Oh, okay. Nah.
Brilliant. Just a brilliant video. All right. So on the episode from yesterday, Stuttering John is talking about, he's reacting to the fact Andrea Brower came on WATP, and John is not happy about this at all. He's very upset with Andrea, and Andrea sent him an email that said, John, stop talking about Nikki B. Stop bringing her up. She doesn't want to be brought up. She didn't want anyone to know that her husband was the people that he was raising money for. That's why she didn't want to have a GoFundMe or anything like that. She didn't want anything to do with this. So Andrea Brower, being her friend, former moderator, Stuttering John, along with Benny Loco, says, John, you got to stop doing this. If you don't, then I'm going to release all of these DMs and texts and email conversations that we've had that you probably don't want out there. And John went, that's extortion. You can't do that to me. So this is just hilarious.
Oh, Nikki, what a pity you don't understand. I take you by the hell, baby, I take you by. Listen to me.
Take you by the heart, you idiot.
I am not.
He never knows the fucking lyrics of these songs. So, again, John's weaponizing this now. Oh, you don't want me to talk about Nikki B? I'll sing songs about Nikki B.
I'll show you.
I was like just starting to fall asleep, and then I put this on last night, and then I heard that, and I was like, motherfucker, god damn.
Hour and a half.
Yeah.
Oh, Nikki, what a pity you don't understand. I take you by the hell, baby, I take you by
the hell.
Listen to me.
Hail, Baba.
I am not going to be extorted. I talked to my attorney.
Lie.
Andrea. I was done with the whole Nikki B thing. I was done with it.
All right, now check out how stupid John is. So this is the very beginning of his show. He's all fired up. And again, this is performative John. I'm not going to give him any credit for the emotion he's showing. It's all fake. But Watch how unprepared he is for his own show. This is the main thing he wants to talk about.
I said my piece. I said how I was hurt over the fact that she didn't come to my defense, and that there was two things. She didn't come to my defense. I can't remember.
And the other thing I'm really pissed about. Whoops.
Two things. You can only ask me questions if you watch the documentary.
Right, yes.
And what was the other
People
one?
have troubles with two. I mean, two's too many things, apparently.
One thing. That's the
Go
only
figure.
thing.
All right. So John's going to explain that, he talked to his attorney, his powerful attorney. Not the fake attorney. He even says, this isn't the Legal Shield attorney. This is the real attorney that I talked to. And he's going to threaten Andrea now.
But Andrea Brower decided through email, which is not very bright. If you say it on the phone, it's he said, she said. Not once. I have about 5 emails from her extorting and blackmailing me. If you mention Nikki, I'm going to read all your DMs and all your emails. That is called extortion.
Okay. So John is claiming that this is extortion, and I don't know if this is going to be a lawsuit or just criminal charges being brought up. He's talking to his attorney about it. It's in the works.
Normally I'd be suspect, but he talked to his attorney.
Yeah,
so.
if the attorney agreed with him, then it probably is true. Because the one thing I know about John is that in the past, when he says, I've talked to my attorney about this, and the next steps are this, this, and this, he always follows through with, no, you know what? Never. Never once. This is the same shit that he threatens every fucking time.
Nope.
And never once does he follow through with anything.
Nope.
And we just don't believe you anymore. We didn't before, but we certainly don't now. In fact, I messaged Andrew and I go, just so you know, have a field day because John's not doing anything. He can't do anything.
Now you're criminally responsible.
Now I'm criminally responsible. Carl made a mistake. He said it on the show.
Did you not see the part of the show where he went through his lawsuit batting average?
Yes, of course he did. He goes, this is, and I don't have the clip, but John is such a fucking idiot. He won against Sharon Stone.
$30,000.
Lost against Sirius
Lost against
XM.
Sirius.
That's
Hall of
50%.
Fame.
That's a Hall of Fame batting average.
Yep.
John, no one has 2 at-bats and makes the Hall of Fame. That's the part you're forgetting here. How about the 2,500 hits along with the good batting average? That's what you need. Fucking moron.
Yeah. Math expert.
And again, you settled out outside of court with Sharon Stone. And don't call it a fucking win, you idiot.
Yeah.
The bodyguard physically assaulted you, and they paid you off.
Right. That was where it dropped off with you having any involvement with it.
Right.
That was it. You got hit.
Well, what's great about this is that John's on here going, this woman's threatening me, and I'm going to bring legal action. And then at the same time, John's threatening everyone because he can't help himself.
Ryan,
Oh, hi.
if that's really you on Reddit, and you called my landlord, and Mark, I know you really do like Nikki. Yeah, I know, Mark. I know. I know the whole, you want me to go there? I know the whole thing with you and your wife. Yeah, I know all of that.
So wait.
Can I just make a point?
Yeah, please.
When he's doing this performative stuff
Yeah.
and says things like, I know all of it, I know he knows nothing.
Yeah, of course.
He doesn't know any of it.
Of course. But he wants to threaten, he wants to weaponize, he wants to threaten people with information, which, based on his definition of extortion, is the exact same thing. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Which is like, you better not do that, or else I'm going to do this thing that you're not going to like. That's what Andrea did to you that you're now complaining about, dummy. It's different when I do it. It's always different when I do it.
It's different when he does it because he thinks that he releases the information regardless of what happens.
Is that why?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's because he's an idiot.
I mean, that is
yeah.
true.
Yeah,
yes.
accidentally.
Yeah.
So this is proof that John is scared. He's scared of this information getting out. And you can tell here when he tries to be the big man and then he immediately goes, oh, wait.
If you mention her name, I'm going to fucking release your DMs. Go ahead. I don't give you permission. I'm not fucking,
I love that he goes, you want to release that? Go ahead. I mean, don't. but don't, please.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, let's not do that. But
I'm not worried.
yes, you are.
Yeah, do I call you a lunatic 100 times? Yeah, because if the shoe fits, wear it.
People in glass houses.
Yeah,
Now,
once he
God
finishes that one.
forbid. Now, this is not a threat. But God forbid
It's a threat.
Yeah.
Incoming.
Nikki's texts and DMs get out there.
Mm-hmm.
God forbid and emails that Andrea's texts, DMs, and emails get out there. Whoa.
I ain't got all day, drama queen.
Yeah, no one's scared of this performance. You're not intimidating anyone with this. John still thinks that for some reason we haven't been watching him for the last 5 years and know that there's nothing behind
There's a
this.
bit of a pattern.
Yeah, we know what's going on here, John. You've got nothing. You're
And
scared.
those other people aren't laughing stocks on the internet that people care about their DMs. Nobody cares about their DMs getting out.
Oh, this is something
They
he
just
does not
wanna
want
see
leaking.
yours so he can make fun of you more.
And I had a theory on this because Nikki B wants nothing to do with John. And John was talking all about how they were really good friends. They spoke on the phone all the time. John did all this stuff for her. I have a feeling that John treated her like he treats everyone else, like shit. And he doesn't want that coming out because that's what John does. He treats everyone that he sees as less than him like shit. And if there's someone who's going to be a listener or a moderator or even another podcaster out of Rochester, he thinks he's better than them and that they're beneath him for some reason because he's an asshole.
Well, he's always trying to ward people off from talking to anyone that's had contact with him, really.
That's true. Yes. He's very insecure. He knows he's a pain in the ass and a prick. And whenever he says that it isn't a threat, I think that it is.
God forbid the emails and texts and DMs get out from Nikki and Andrea. Because if she pulls the trigger, like she did yesterday on Carl's show, if she pulls that trigger, God forbid, I'm not saying for me. Believe me, I'm not saying for me.
No.
This is not a threat. This is not extortion. I'm just saying God forbid. Because you can't just show one side. I guess you can.
What is he trying to say?
Don't engage yourself in extortion. Because you know what I received?
I love the fact because it literally is the God forbid someone would break these windows.
Yeah.
You know, you got a really fancy store here on the corner here. God forbid someone bet you might want to have some security looking after it. God forbid. Like, this is literally a threat. Everything you're saying is a threat. Even when you say, not from me, though, it's still a threat, John. It's still a threat. Even when the mafia guy goes, look, I don't have a problem with this storefront, but other people might. I don't know. Watch out.
Be in your best interest to,
Right. Fucking asshole.
But don't engage yourself in extortion. Because you know what I received? 5 emails saying if I mention Nikki one more time, you're going to start releasing private text and emails from me. That is the definition of extortion.
No, I don't think so.
He's also just so obsessed with controlling the narrative,
Yes.
Well, yeah.
He doesn't want anything leaking out.
which we all already know. But
Correct.
I hate listening to him explain that.
This one is all over the place. He gets very confused about what he's even arguing about in this one.
Believe me, I will take legal action. I don't care. They could all laugh at me for being litigious, but that's all I got. Lady K himself said, I said, he goes, why'd you call the cops on Chad, John? I said, because he's threatening to vandalize my home. Well, I go, yeah, so what am I supposed to do? Well, wait. I said, what would you do if you vandalized your house? I would just call the cops. So in other words, Lady K,
All right, you're confusing two different things right now.
Buy insurance.
Let me explain what John is talking about, and I'll also explain the hypocrisy in this. First off, Chad sent out a tweet to fuck with John, and John claims that he called the FBI, the Tampa Police Department, and the Cape Coral Police
CIA.
Department. And he claims that he has the Cape Coral Police driving by his house every half hour or something, watching for Chad to come and vandalize. And I go, Chad's fucking with you, John. Why would you call the police over this? It's ridiculous. What he's confusing that with is when I was on the phone with John, and John goes, listen, man, even though we know where each other lives, I'm not going to vandalize your house because you could just vandalize my house if I did that. And I went, John, I'm not going to vandalize your house back. I'll call the police. And now I know who did it. So that's a very different thing. After the vandalism happens, you call the police, get the police involved.
Sure.
When someone threatens an empty threat, you don't call the police.
Right.
Now, let me explain why it's hypocritical that John says this, uses this as an example. Maybe he realized it as he was saying it, probably not. He's a moron. John actually did threaten to vandalize my house multiple times, shitting on all the walls, jerking off in the pool, all the things that he talks about.
All
His
the
hemorrhoids
time.
are going to explode in my
Yeah.
bed. He's like, all this shit. This is actually threatening vandalism on my house. Did I call the police?
In your house.
No.
You don't have to call the police. The police can just listen to the audio.
No, we have the evidence. But this is where John
We have the evidence.
this is where John gets everything all confused and doesn't understand.
I
It's
have the Photoshop.
such a fucking idiot. And then he acts like, oh, but you guys complain when I do something, but you guys do it too.
Yeah.
No, you're conflating what this all is.
I would just call the cops. So in other words, Lady K, you are the hypocrite. You are the fucking perennial hypocrite. In other words, I shouldn't call the cops. I shouldn't call my attorneys when I'm being extorted.
All right, so this is where it gets even funnier because later on in the show, our buddy Penis Wrinkle mentions this to John.
Do you think Carl will sue you for threats and email? No, he can't. No, I never threatened him. So no, that'll never happen.
Oh, he seemed like he got a little bit nervous about that. He's like, no.
Maybe?
Let me read the email I got from John just recently. It says, if you continue, I know more about your family than you would like me to know. Stick to goofing on me. And he goes, did I say I would do anything? It's implied, John. How do you not know that? The whole thing where you go, it's a nice looking window you got there. It's implied that you're going to smash it out if you don't do the thing the person wants you to do. That is extortion.
Yes.
That is the definition of, if the extortion, Andrea did that, then you definitely did it.
And in legal terms that John would understand, if the judge was reviewing this, he'd be like, Carl, that's not cool.
Right. As you know, that's what judges are always talking about. Not cool, man. Making fun of trans people? Not cool. Court of public opinion coming down on you.
Down the pike.
Oh, this is a fun clip, and then I want to talk about, I actually interacted with John yesterday. So I want to play that for you guys.
It's always sweet.
But first, did you catch that, Lucy, on the show yesterday? It was pretty late in the show.
Yeah,
You did? Okay.
I'm excited.
Okay, cool. All right. So this is hilarious because somebody asks John, when's the last time he went a day without drinking? And this response is, quite telling, I would say.
When was the last day you went without a drink, albeit December
1998.
December.
I love that he thinks the answer is on the ceiling. It's never on the ceiling. You're never going to find it on the ceiling. But okay, keep looking for it.
I don't know. He might be marking throws beer cans up there to mark each day.
23rd, 24th, 25th. It was around the time that I was in New York, and I went 2 days without drinking. I like them apples.
So,
all right, everybody.
What I found hilarious about this, everyone pointed out the fact that this is a couple of weeks ago and he can't remember. But what I thought was hilarious is he goes, 23rd, 24th, 25th. You just mentioned Christmas Eve where you were at your brother's house and you were filming it and you were drinking beer at the couch watching football. And Christmas Day, that you were also on the internet that day. Now, the days after that, he got sick. Remember, all of a sudden he was sick and then he was better all of a sudden.
At 6:30.
People were speculating that maybe he didn't drink alcohol the days he was sick and that's why he didn't feel good. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I just know about the vaccines.
Again, the reason that we don't remember it from this year is because he's talking about 1998.
Yeah, that's very possible too. Yes, it was in December in some year. I don't know. It all bleeds together. Okay. So John is on his show yesterday and he's going on and on as he always does. He's very repetitive. On and on about how I always trash his kids and I'm the worst person and I'm always calling them losers and people in the chat, I appreciate it. They have my back. They're like, John, he's fucking around. He's joking. John keeps bringing up the thing. Is he joking? He writes on Patreon, we call his kids losers. It's more fun than you think it is. Yes. That was specifically a joke. It was, I wasn't even trying to mask it. It was very obviously a joke. And John just goes on and on. Was it a joke when he said that my daughter looked like Baba Booey and that's an insult to Baba Booey? Yes, of course that's a joke.
Yes, because if it wasn't, Baba Booey would be mad.
Right.
Trying to sue us.
And the joke is on you, John. The fact that your wife had an affair with your coworker and that's his daughter. That's the joke, dummy. So I'm watching this go back and forth and John just keeps, being willfully ignorant and saying, he's not joking. No, he's trashing my kids, trashing my family. So finally I go, I'm just going to super chat this asshole and explain to him so that we can put this to bed. just to end this once and for all.
Is this the real dickhead?
Yes,
Is this really Carla?
it is.
John, your adult children all seem great. I'm happy for them. I don't think they're losers. Those were jokes. If they're so terrible, stop repeating them. Effing hell.
Okay, let me read that because he did not read that very well.
Properly.
Yeah.
It says, John, your adult children all seem great. I'm happy for them. I don't think they're losers. Those were jokes. If they're so terrible, stop repeating them. Fucking hell.
Yes.
Because that's the thing. He keeps repeating this joke about Baba Booey being the father. And it's like, well, stop saying that then. I don't say that anymore. I said that one time. That's how I do jokes, one time. Then we move on. So John just read that. And now this takes the wind out of his sails. Because he loves to say that he can do anything he wants to me and the shitware because we both trash his kids. Now, Shuli's never trashed his kids. I've made jokes about it just to fuck with them, and they've obviously worked like a charm. But now I'm ready to be like, all right, John, I have no problem with your family and your kids. We've complimented them many, many times. We're actually impressed they turned out so well, to be honest with you.
I have a feeling this is $10 well spent.
Okay, thank you. Watch what John does because he doesn't want this to be the case. He doesn't want this to go away. He needs this.
Of course.
He needs to be mad at me for this fake thing that he's made up. You won't believe the deflection here. You haven't seen this yet, producer Chris?
No, sir.
This is incredible.
So now you're a South Park character? So you went from Howard Stern to being a South Park character now?
So my avatar on YouTube is, the South Park character that Alex Gagrinously made.
So what if you were a swastika?
Next time. That's my old one.
That's my old one.
So John, instead of addressing what I just said,
Yeah.
oh, now you're a South Park?
Yeah. What a loser. What a loser.
It reminds me of Marge. Look at me, I'm a Star Wars. Oh, now you're a South Park. All right, let's see where he goes with this. He probably puts together a pretty good
Oh, yeah. He's got momentum
argument.
going.
Yeah.
Hell. So now you're a South Park character? So you went from Howard Stern to being a South Park character now? Man, you are.
Yeah. Keep thinking. Yeah. What do you got?
Carl, you're never going to be famous, man.
Okay.
Not going down the path you're going. I will never say never to anything. Why not try something? Acting, comedy.
So
Why not address the content of the super chat?
why not address what I just said to you instead of making up a thing that's not my goal? It was your goal in life. I know you've talked about it many times. I've never wanted to be famous. It's why I don't use my real name on anything I do.
You don't want to be an actor. You don't want to.
I don't act. I don't do stand-up comedy. So, all right, again, John's going to explain to me.
You could be bad at it like John.
Yeah, right. I know. He's like, anyone could do it. Look at me. I was on television.
You could direct a movie.
I was in a terrible movie and do terrible stand-up.
Writing. Maybe there's hope for you somewhere.
That was toilet
In
paper.
this
You didn't
entertainment
even have
world.
actual Kleenex.
Toilet paper's a lot cheaper than tissues, obviously. So now he's just got the whole roll of toilet paper, shove it up his nose.
But why just focus on a guy that you looked up to all your life?
All right, a couple of things about that. First off, today's show, we covered 3 podcasts, then Jerry Banfield, then I had Joey C on, then we talked about Patty C. Cups, we talked about Patrick Melton and Chad Zumach, Jimmy Kimmel and Aaron Rodgers. We looked at Scorch, his big announcement with PFG, Maddox, Howard Stern, and now we're talking about Stuttering John Melendez. So good news, asshole. I don't just talk about you.
I hated defending you a couple weeks ago, but I literally calculated you're on the air like 12 hours a week, and maybe an hour is John.
Right. And also this thing where he thinks that I looked up to him all my life. And I think the potato is the one who told him this. Are you the one who told him I had a shrine to him in my basement?
Yes, on the other, exactly opposite that wall.
Right.
And John always believes what he wants to believe.
Of course.
So he thinks that I worshipped this guy.
Yeah, literally a shrine. That's
Growing
great.
up,
You're
like, oh my
lighting
God.
candles.
If only I could be like Stuttering John Melendez answering phones.
I sent them pictures of the autographed picture that you have on the wall that I took of him.
It's hilarious.
Entertainment world.
He's so funny.
But why just focus on a guy that you looked up to all your life. You know you love me on Stern. I know you love me on Stern. So why don't you be a fan? Why don't you be like, hey, John, you want to come on my show?
Now, that's rich. Because I remember when John first responded to us making fun of his podcast, he's like, these fucking losers, I would never even give him the time of day. He was way too good for us and too big for us back then. And now he's going, you should have just invited me out. I would have come out. We could have busted balls.
Well,
had a great show together. Like, no, this is revision.
to break down further, he's saying, would you please be nice?
Well,
would you just
I
be
know.
nice?
You're right. That's a good point. He's the one who's keeping this going, though.
I know.
Every episode he comes
needs
on
to.
and says the same shit about me over and over again. It's not true. So it's like,
He needs you more than you need him.
no shit.
Again, he's projecting. He's the one doing a show about one
Yes.
guy every single
Correct.
day. Well, maybe two guys.
And you know what? It's speaking of us needing each other. I think I'm fucking Batman. Because I can go to the Riddler, I can go to the Penguin, I could go to any myriad character.
Okay.
He's just the Joker.
Tom Myers, who's Lex Loser.
Lex Luthor, Tom Myers. This fucking idiot is just the one guy who's got to fight Batman and Robin all the fucking time. Sorry, you're Robin in this scenario.
Yeah, leave her out of it.
I think you just came up with the next live show poster.
Yes.
Nice.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's actually really funny. All right, Mint Salad. I've already reached out to Mint to do our Largo show.
It's all coming together. Man.
Yeah.
Or, hey, John, like, be a fan like you are.
I'm not.
Don't be a hater.
I don't like you.
I'll forgive you.
I don't care.
I will.
I don't care.
I forgive anybody. I give everybody a second chance. You know why? Jay Leno once said to me, because he looked at Howard Stern, being Howard Stern as a, and when he hired me, he goes, when people think Burt Reynolds said something bad about me. And he said,
You're snotty.
I'm not even.
He said,
amplifying
everybody needs a
this
second chance.
Audio.
Carl, I'll give you a second chance. Just stop. Stop with the trash and the kids.
See, now,
Stop with the.
this is the thing. He won't address what I just said, but then he pretends that it didn't happen.
Yep.
So this is the gaslighting part. He's just like, yeah, but Carl, you keep trashing my kids. No, we're not trashing your kids. We think they're fine people.
Trash and the kids. Stop with the nonstop shows. Like, just look at Johnny wipe his nose.
John's on 6 days a week live talking about me. And he's telling me to stop with the nonstop shows.
Sometimes he's fake sleeping.
That's true. He's not always talking about me. Sometimes he's doing some of his funny gags.
We get it. I wipe my nose. Move on. Be creative. Be creative. Do something, Lady K. I mean, don't you want to get out of Rochester? I
don't want to have to say it, but John, you know specifically where I have another house.
I miss.
Yeah.
We've talked about
I think he's lazy. Lazy J.
I'm
His-
almost
I mean-
missing him. I'm almost missing him saying the word dotard.
I
Like,
know,
can't even
right?
hear him say dotard anymore.
Those are the good old days.
That clip, though, Rick Sanchez is a genius on the cartoon, but he's talking like that drunk, like,
Yeah.
like he can't, he's so wasted, he could barely talk without
but
the
Andy,
alcohol
in his
coming out of
defense-
his mouth.
In his defense, though, it was like 5:30 p.m. on the West Coast while this was happening. So there's that.
Okay. I mean, don't you want to get out of Rochester?
In the wintertime.
I want to get out of Long Island. Don't you want to move on to bigger and better things?
Long Island.
You should think about that.
Oh, I hate this, John. This version of John.
Yeah.
Anybody could be
And do
anything
what? End up where
they
you are?
want to be. As simple as that.
It's not simple. You're a terrible stand-up comic and you want to be a stand-up comic. It's not as easy as anyone can be anything that they want to be. I hate when he gives me life advice. The last person I need life advice from is Stuttering John Melendez. I'm much
Right.
more successful than he is.
But again, he's answering questions you've never asked.
Right, yeah. Think about it, Carl.
Ask me
could-
anything.
You could be doing so
You
much
could end up in a
more.
filthy apartment divorced in California if you put your mind to it.
I might. It's very possible. He's got a few years on me.
I might.
I got to play that again. The end where he starts like going, listen, I'm going to be a nice guy and give you some advice how to fix things for you. I don't need fixing.
You should think about that.
You should think about that. So wise.
Yeah, this is closing time, John.
Anybody could be anything they want to be. As simple as that.
Is it?
What?
Yeah, I turned my hobby into my job, so I agree. It's pretty cool. Okay, so 20 minutes later, his computer freezes, as it always does. And as he's going back into his computer, whatever he has to do to get back onto the stream, he finally thinks of what he should have said when he went on this rant. And it started with South Park, and he didn't know what to say. And then why don't you just worship me and we'll be friends? And then he's like, oh shit, I shouldn't have said that. So now 20 minutes later, he comes back. Immediately, he's talking to me now.
Sorry. And by the way, Carl, how about this?
I mean, I'm not joking. 20 minutes goes by. This isn't like it froze up at the end of that last thing. He's talking about all this other shit, and then he's like right into this. Okay, let's see. What do you got for
And
me?
not even the super chat triggering him. Like nothing is.
Nothing. He was just thinking about this while he was rebooting, and he was all fired up about it.
Let's think about this for a second. Let's say those were jokes, okay?
They were.
Would Janine like those? Would Janine think that was funny?
Well, I'll say this. Janine was at DabbleCon 2023, and I started laughing. So very possible, yes. Very possible she would. I know her better than you do, actually. So, yeah, if you think my mom would find this funny, she might.
I'm asking you.
I answered.
Would she think that it was funny to goof on my children? Would she? I'm asking you. And one of them was a minor when you said that.
So what difference does any of that fucking make, you idiot? I love that he thinks he has the upper hand now. He knows my mom's name.
Yeah.
And what if I told your mom on you what you're doing? It's on the internet. She knows. You think I hide this? I know you're the black sheep of your family. No, I'm not. You're wrong about that.
Would she be okay with that? Would Janine be okay if somebody did a show and said all of Carl's kids are losers?
Go
Question.
ahead, Chris.
Well, you have his number. Can you have Janine give him a call and just
Yeah,
say,
just tell him, like,
I'm okay with this?
Yeah. I saw your recent
Proud.
thing. I just want to let you know that
Yeah.
we're actually really happy with what Carl's doing. He seems really happy in life.
Yeah. And those were jokes. And good
Actually,
jokes.
I wish you brought your mom in on the reading of the wedding speeches.
I should have.
Her
I should have had Janine on there.
Yes.
Oh, that would have
Right.
been so sweet.
It would have been.
Well, I didn't have her on there, but she did come to Nashville. She did come to Detroit. She came to Philadelphia. She came to Rochester. She's been to a bunch
Does
of
he
our
really-
live shows. So
Does he really think that you're sitting there going, oh, man, I'm just ashamed of myself now?
I know.
God really put me in my place.
Well, he's winning another hypothetical argument that doesn't exist. He's going, what if I told your family what you're up to? Bet you'd be pretty ashamed then. And in his mind, he's winning. He's really good at arguing with people when they're not there. That's when he always wins the argument.
His narrative is, I am controlling this for my family,
Right.
and so therefore I can control it for Carl's family.
Yeah, why are you bringing up moms? I don't talk
yours-
about his mom, even though Tukey does an amazing impression that I love. But I don't even talk about it. And John's going there. John's decided he's going to start talking about my mom, and he doesn't know her. He doesn't know anything about her. Obviously, it's all stupid. It's all moot. But he thinks he's getting to me with this.
But your mom's never been in the chat. His has been, so he wins
That's true. Yeah, my mom isn't here watching the show live.
Not
on
yet.
Facebook.
She is on Patreon, though, so thanks for the support, Mom. Appreciate it. It's so insane to me that this is what he came up with after I said, I think your kids are great. We don't have a problem with your family. And this is where his mind went.
Yeah.
I don't think so, Carl.
I do. And I know
I
better.
don't think she'd be okay with that.
She's fine.
Would Janine be okay if on my Patreon I said, oh, and we goof on Carl's kids and it's more fun than you think? Do you think Janine would be okay with that?
Can I answer that, John, since you're talking to me directly? She wouldn't give a fuck. You don't matter. You don't matter in my life, to my family, anything. We don't think about you. Don't care.
Carl's kids are as real as his cats in Florida.
Yeah, right. Can you watch my kids, John?
I don't think so.
You're an idiot. That's why.
Would Janine be okay with me saying, oh,
Would she be okay with you shitting on the walls of my house in Florida? No. She'd have a problem with that. She'd be like, oh, that sucks.
and Carl's daughter looks like Baba Booey, and that's an insult to Baba Booey? Would Janine be okay with that? I don't think so, Carl.
She'd get over it a lot quicker than you have. That's for sure.
But Carl's daughter would have fucked up teeth.
Would Janine be okay with Howard Stern saying that you should abort your firstborn kid? Would she be okay with that? Was she okay with the long commercial breaks when he was on terrestrial radio that would sometimes last your entire commute? Would your mom be okay with that?
I think you had great parents. I do.
No comment.
But I think somewhere along the way, you wanted to make money so badly.
Oh,
That you quit your real job in order to pursue a hobby.
this is another thing. He's created this false narrative that I was just sitting around twiddling my thumbs.
What should I do?
I don't want to go to McDonald's again today and work an 8-hour shift. What am I going to do? Wait a second. There's a famous guy on the internet. Just one. What if I
Who happens to
exploited-
suck at everything.
What if I exploited that? Oh my God.
You're
It's
so calculating.
It's so stupid because it's the way John thinks. John wants to, like, how do I make money podcasting? You can't figure it out.
But also, how can I spin it back to him being obsessed about me and me being
yeah,
great?
Yeah. I was doing fine before I podcasted for a living.
Somewhere along the way, you wanted to make money so badly. They decided it would be cool to trash children. Am I wrong?
Yes!
Or am I right?
You're 100% wrong.
You're very wrong, sir.
You're very wrong. I was a partner in a company. And John goes, but then you decided you'll make money trashing children. I rest my case, Your Honor.
And the judge said that's not cool.
What a fucking boob. What a buffoon this guy is. He's so stupid. All right. That was fun. Let's get Annie in here.
So they're not even kids anymore. They're children.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Annie. How's it going?
Annie.
How's it going, everyone?
It is going well. I'm bringing you on because we need to poke a dabbler.
Ooh, I love this part.
Let's get to it.
It's time for everyone's favorite new game show, To Poke a Dabbler. Are you ready to poke a dabbler? Andy?
Okay. Let's do some subreddit surfing, shall we? Let's see. Oh, look at this. This is a nice one. Oh, this is the first one that pops up. And I couldn't agree more. This is not planned. I just went here. How could anyone stand to listen to WATP any longer? It's just 2 hours of moronic giggling.
3 hours.
And this is not me who posted it. And chuckling over the dumbest, most who gives a shit stuttering bore nonsense. Moderation, Carl. At least go back to the Opie. Well, at some point, I was a pretty regular listener for a while. But Jesus, man, posting this here instead of WATP sub because the stupid fan base Carl Ball watchers dismiss any criticism with hi, John, or hi, Chad. Carl really deserves his current audience. And that is the first one that was up as soon as I freaking pulled it up.
And actually, that person was a Patreon. It still is a Patreon member. He's reached out to me directly, but all right.
That's the first fucking one. I swear to you, people. And now we will go to Hackverse Anonymous.
What does John say next? I'm going to guess.
Well,
So, I mean, I don't know. Let's go to Hackverse Anonymous. They seem to be, they have the pulse of this all.
He should have heck first.
And, they trash me a lot too, but we'll do some subreddit surfing and we'll and we'll.
This is a good show.
He's killing it.
What did John say next? Here are your choices. Number 1.
Pretty good.
E. I don't know what this means. Next. Why can't I log back into Reddit? 4. Sodomy. In a sing-song voice. Lastly, forget it. To poke a dabbler.
All right. I'm going to say something bold. I was thinking, I'll just say this, but no, I'm going for it. I bet he does all 5 of those things in that order. That's what I'm going to guess. And I'll send it over to you, Andy. What do you think?
Fuck. I'm gonna go with B.
Yeah, that was the first one I was actually going to go with. Lucy Tightbox.
I'm going to go with him sing-songy and sodomy.
Okay, very possible. Annie?
Why can't I log back in? John
Yep.
has issues with that repeatedly.
Yes, he does. And he was talking about getting into Hackverse, so that would make sense. And then producer Chris, what do you think?
Oh, you blew my mind with that
I
fucking
know.
bullshit.
It seems very possible, doesn't it?
But
It all
my
kinda
instinct
works.
says,
Okay, let's go. I like that song.
I don't know what this means. Could somebody tell me what this means? Hold on, I'm gonna make sure I'm not missing some of these.
Who won that one?
Fucking Andy.
Andy got it?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Andy rules.
Well done.
Thank you, William Borgeson. I paid off your bet to Alstein for 100 last week. Since you reneged on a bet, I would expect nothing less from you. Well, he said I didn't have to pay him as long as I unblocked him. I have unblocked him, so I think we're all quits.
That's all for this time.
Forgot about
Come
that.
back next time.
Quits is
to find out if
different
you-
from quid.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, because he used to say quid, which also was incorrect.
Yeah, I think you are quits.
Yeah. I forgot he used to use that. Someone must have finally schooled him from the pub and said that's how he used
Oh,
that.
there we go. Sorry, Cardiff.
That's all for this time. Come back next time to find out if you have the subreddit surfing skills enough to poke a dabbler. Subreddit Surfing Live, Saturday, March the 9th. Comedy at the Carlson in Rochester, New York. Get your tickets now at carlsoncomedy.com.
Do it.
Sit, Eugene, sit. Good dog.
All right. I have to play for you. This one came up on Tukey Soup this morning, and I thought this would be perfect for a poke a dabbler game. I have to play this clip for you. This is incredible.
No, but I'm not going to take too much of your time. I mean, obviously, I'm going to play the clip. But I do like you, Stevie. Like, you are like, to me, like Ray. You're just like a nice guy. You know what I mean? Like, there's no...
Okay, I thought you were going to say I'm a art. I don't want to say the word, but yeah, I thought you were going to say it. I like you, Stevie. You're like Ray. You're a
No. I like Ray. You don't like Ray?
I love Ray. I'm breaking his balls. I'm sure he'll this will get back to him.
No, I just think you guys are like not... Like, you don't have...
Okay. I'm trying to remember how much further I got to go. I would say it's a little further, I think.
Have a fucking...
Okay. I can't even set this game up because I wouldn't even know what else to tell you. John says...
It's not as easy as it looks,
No,
huh?
I know. I didn't prepare for this one, unfortunately. But as soon as I saw this, I went, oh, my God, this would have stumped me. There's no way I would have guessed what John says next.
You know, a horse in the fucking game. Well, you know, I forget the fucking phrase, but you don't... You know, you just like...
A dog in the fight. We don't have a dog in the
Yeah,
fight.
you don't have a dog in the fight.
You don't have a horse in the game.
All those horse games.
What a fucking moron.
What did John play next?
What a fucking idiot. This is just a quick leftover thing I wanted to talk about. You know, John's been hitting on Kate Meany pretty openly and actively for a couple months now. Mm-hmm. And so Kate stopped responding to him for a while, and then she started to again when they went on MLC together. And John sent her a ring light. And he's been patting himself on the back ever since. You know, he studied lighting in college, so he knows all about the ring light. And so Kate tweets out, "Good morning," with a selfie. And John responds, "Cool, I can't wait to see you with the light. You'll love the improvement. These idiots don't realize it's all in the lighting."
Coming from a guy who looks like a gargoyle regularly.
Who is great at lighting.
Yeah, work on your lighting, ugly.
Could you imagine responding to this? Good afternoon with, "Hey, remember I got you that thing? Don't forget about me getting you that thing that you didn't ask me to do."
Who are these podcasts?